What up, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid, tapping back in with some news. Now, I was like, what story should I do first? 50 and Fat Joe or this Missy Elliott, right? And I was like, I gotta go with the fifth and Fat Joe, but make sure y'all stay tuned for the second half of the video, Missy Elliott. It's gonna be some good stuff. But anyways,
I never thought in my life I would squash the beef for 50 Cent. And I'm real deal. So, like, if we would have bumped heads somewhere, it would have went down physically 1,000,000%.
Right.
And so, when Chris Lighty died, I went to the funeral by myself. And, because Chris Lighty, where I come from, the integrity I have, the morals I have, is I got to pay respects to people and show love to the family and all that. So I show up. And 50 Cent is in there. He's in the other side. I don't see him. LL was there. Ice-T. And, I leave. When I leave, my phone rings. It's Stephen Hill from BET. And he's like, yo, we're doing a tribute to Chris Lighty on the BET Awards. Rehearsal. So we rehearse. I perform Lean Back, and then 50 Cent comes out, right? And he ends up right by where I'm at. And when the music stops, he puts his hands out. And he says, peace for Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty wanted peace.
y'all hear Fat Joe, man. That was over on Talib Kweli's People's Party podcast. Great show. I love that show, man. Tap in if y'all fuck with it as well. But you heard Fat Joe. That's not the whole, that's just some clips. You know what I mean? You could check it out in its entirety. But more or less, Chris Lighty, R.I.P. Chris Lighty, was the man that, got the Fat Joe 50 Cent beef to be deaded. And that beef was serious. Y'all heard Fat Joe talking about, we were going to bump heads. It was going to be serious. G-Unit's been involved in a lot of different situations. I just watched a video the other day where a dude was detailing different times people tried to take 50's life, aside from the getting shot 9 times, and Yayo as well. You know what I mean? They've had some situations. That's why they stay, securityed up. And Fat Joe and Terror Squad, you got to kind of go back, but there's some infamous stories out there. Y'all ever heard the Rockefeller story? That's just one of them. But, TS, Terror Squad, used to get down. But I don't know, man. It's a whole nother story. But Fat Joe kind of fucked up Terror Squad. I ain't happy about that. Y'all can comment about that. That's a whole nother video. But anyways, man, it was interesting when you heard Fat Joe talking about after Chris Lighty's passing, he went to the funeral and everything to pay his respects. And after, when he went to the performance, he knew 50 was going to be there. They were super on point. And Fifth was the one that came out to him with his hand out like Chris Lighty wanted us to squash the beef. And the way Fat Joe was talking about it, it almost sounded like he didn't really trust 50 Cent, because he was like, all these things this guy said, like, we already know Fifth talks super greasy. I mean, just look at Ja Rule. He's still, twisting the knife in Ja Rule's gut every chance he gets. But, Fat Joe went on to talk about how all in all, he's happy. He said beefing never did nothing but close doors for him. And that's a fact. You know what I mean? In a lot of situations, beefing will close the door or make people, be leery of fucking with you on business levels and things like that, because they're always going to be like, he's always with the bullish, you know what I mean? People are always getting fucked up around that dude. But R.I.P. Chris Lighty, that was cool of him that he kind of expressed to 50 Cent he wanted the beef squash. Now, before I move on to the Missy Elliott stuff, though, I do got to say, when it comes to Chris Lighty, man, something that I want to mention, as we know, he had Violator Management. One of my favorite albums of all time is that Violator album. That joint had bangers on there, man. Like, Chris Lighty did his thing coming up with the concept to put that album together. I miss those days, man. Compilation albums and different things. But that's that. There you have it. The Fat Joe 50 Cent issue squashed in memory of Chris Lighty. But moving along to Missy Elliott, I thought this was very, very interesting, man. And make sure y'all tap in, comment on everything we touch on in this video, as always. And if you're new, that's what it's all about here. Tapping in with the people, hearing what y'all got to say. But randomly, like yesterday, out of nowhere on Twitter, Missy Elliott started trending. And fans were just giving her flowers, you know. And Missy Elliott started interacting with them. And like, I don't know why I felt like when I was like, I'm going to do this video, I felt like a lot of people are going to comment and be like, Coffee, Missy Elliott? Like, yo, Missy Elliott was the truth. You know what I'm saying? Back then with Can't Stand the Rain, the video, like the way all her videos had those kind of like far out there visuals. Her whole vibe was just wild different. You know what I mean? And a lot of that too, though, with Missy Elliott's success, I gotta say, goes to Timbaland, man, because he did the majority of her production, I believe. Like, y'all remember that collective? It was like Timbaland, Missy Elliott, R.I.P. Aaliyah. She was, like a part of that squad. Genuine, Mocha, Magoo. Who else, y'all? Who else was in that collective? But Timbo, we know, in my opinion, one of the dopest producers of all time. So many fire beats he's behind. One that just pops in my head, I think I said this in a recent video on Jay-Z Volume 3. There's a track called Snoopy Track, Jay-Z featuring Juvenile. That beat's crazy. That's a Timbo beat. The Game, Let Me Put You on the Game. I don't know, Timbo's dope. I can always spot a Timbo beat when I hear it. I like, comment if y'all can too as well. But anyways, I feel like he had a big part of Missy's success, and I don't know, her style, the music, and then the visuals and everything with Timbo's sound, it just all went together so well. And people with some of the fans, one of the fans said, I love that Missy Elliott knows she set pace and doesn't shy away from reminding everyone that she is really the blueprint. She doesn't even do it in a prideful way either, but even if she did, and so her work has earned her the right to do so if she wanted to. Someone else says, I love most female rappers, but when I tell you that Missy Elliott has my heart, I mean that ish. She can rap, sing, and produce, not to mention her music videos were different and out of the box. They are timeless, and so is she. The fans were really just giving Missy her flowers. I don't know. I wonder if the Missy fan club got together on in their DMs and said, yo, let's start flooding the timeline with some Missy love. But Missy tapped into them. And you see a fan shared, they got the Missy Elliott tattoo where it looks like Mega Man from the Hit Me With Your Best Shot video. What this dude say, 2021, and all this is still ahead of its time. You don't deserve flowers, you deserve the whole damn nursery. And people, one thing I want to say too about one of her videos that just popped in my head, like this whole Missy story that I'm covering here just takes me back, right? I don't know, man. I always say in all my videos, I love getting that nostalgic feeling back to the 90s. And it's comment, guys, if y'all feel that too. So often when I speak on that kind of stuff in my videos, people really tap into it and fuck with what I'm saying. So for those who do, what do y'all think, man? Was our era way more doper and original like we think? Or are we just, do we just love our era like that? You feel me? And something that I remember, right? Do you remember, because the I Can't Stand the Rain video, the garbage bag all inflated up and everything? Remember at the MTV Awards that year, Chris Rock did some kind of spoof video where he was wearing the thing and everything, man. I don't know, those were the days. It just takes me back, man. And like I said, tap in, comment, let me know if this story and what I'm speaking on here gives you that nostalgic feeling as well. This fan said, I always wanted to learn about the creative process and inspiration behind Missy's music videos because from such a young age, I've always admired her creativity. She embodies cultural reset, innovator, pioneer. I like a documentary or a book, please. And I think that would be a lit documentary all about the Missy Elliott music videos, right? Was Hype Williams directing most of those videos? Obviously I could have looked that up, but I feel like it had to been hype back then doing that. But I don't know. There was a lot of dope music video directors back then. You know, there still is, but it's just a different time, man. Music videos just ain't what they were back then. And I'm not trying to shit on this time, this era, but y'all know what I mean, right? Like, it was just, music videos were so different to me. And then Missy responded, and she said, when I think back of how many people thought I was crazy back then, I look at my videos and songs now and see they changed the game and allowed people to be different now. If I had of listened to the naysayers, boy, oh boy, no one would have ever seen these masterpieces. So those videos were dope. Like I said, even if like you don't fuck with Missy's music, you know what I mean? It ain't your cup of tea, which I can't see. Like, I don't know. I really fuck with her shit, especially back then. You know, getting more into the 2000s, it kind of became, like, I'm not dissing it, but I wasn't as into it. It kind of started becoming more pop to me. I guess everything after Work It. Y'all remember 50 Cent was on the Work It remix as well? But, man, those videos were crazy, man. And, you'll see on one of the GIFs in this video when she's in the cornfield or whatever, and the scarecrow comes to life or whatever the hell was going on. Like we said, her videos were bugged out. Is that Bob Saget dragging her off? And something else videos that comes into my mind too. You guys remember in the Get Your Freak On video, that spit part? That shit was disgusting, Missy. That was that was some nasty ish. But I don't know, y'all. Missy Elliott getting her flowers, getting her praise. Let me know what y'all think about it. Hit the comments. And real quick, before I close this one out, do y'all remember the song Missy had on her album featuring Eminem, where she was like, won't you bust a rhyme, Slim Shady? And Eminem spit some crazy shit, talked about jumping out of a 100-story building and shooting everyone on all the floors down. Like, hit the comments and let me know if y'all remember that. But I got to wrap this thing up. Missy Elliott getting her praise. What did y'all think about her whole thing? Shout out Timbaland always. He had a lot to do with that movement. Fifth and Joe squashing the issue. Let's talk about it all in them comments. New viewers, make sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It's J Coffee Talk, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.